Picture this. You're walking down the street when a group of kids starts mocking your bald head. Annoying, right? But in one Bible story, this exact scenario leads to 42 young people being mauled by bears. Welcome to one of the most bizarre and misunderstood tales in Scripture, the story of Elisha and the she-bears, tucked away in 2 Kings 2. It's got everything. Supernatural hair loss, divine judgment, and yes, attack bears. Let's set the stage. Elisha had just watched his mentor Elijah ascend to heaven in a fiery chariot. He inherits Elijah's mantle, literally and spiritually, parts the Jordan River, and begins his prophetic ministry. But the Bible makes one peculiar note: Elisha was bald. That detail matters more than you'd think. As Elisha travels to Bethel, a city with a rebellious spiritual history, a group of youths comes out and taunts him. They shout, "Go up, you bald head." Now, this wasn't harmless teasing. The phrase, "go up," was likely mocking Elijah's ascension, telling Elisha to disappear too. And calling him bald head wasn't just about looks. In ancient Israel, baldness could imply curse, mourning, or shame. This wasn't simple name-calling. It was a public rejection of Elisha's divine authority, and by extension, God's. Elisha turns, curses them in the name of the Lord, and immediately 2 female bears emerge and maul 42 of them. Whether they died or were just wounded, the message was clear. Mocking a prophet wasn't just personal, it was spiritual rebellion. This story shocks modern readers. Why would God allow such harsh punishment for a few insults? To understand, we need context. In ancient Israel, prophets were God's direct representatives. Mocking one wasn't just rude, it was a challenge to God's covenantal authority. And Bethel, where this happened, was a center of idol worship and resistance to true prophets. The number 42 isn't random either. In biblical symbolism, it often represents testing or judgment. This wasn't random violence. It was a decisive warning to spiritually wayward people. But let's be honest, the story still feels uncomfortable. It seems harsh. But remember, in the ancient world, words carried deep spiritual weight, and public defiance of a prophet could lead entire communities astray. Elisha was stepping into a role that required immediate respect. Like a new commander in a hostile zone, he had to establish authority fast, not for ego, but to preserve divine order in a fractured nation. So what does this story really teach us? It's not about bears, baldness, or petty vengeance. It's about the power of words, the seriousness of spiritual authority, and the cost of mocking what is sacred. It challenges us to consider how we speak, who we mock, and how seriously we take the things of God. And maybe, just maybe, it reminds us not to make fun of bald prophets, especially if you're standing near the woods. What do you think about this wild biblical tale? Does it change how you view divine justice or prophetic authority? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more surprising biblical stories that will challenge everything you thought you knew about Scripture.